welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a spoiler-free review of Gilded Cage by Vic James. It's a library book, but so Vic James is actually Victoria James. And I believe she is a doctor. I'm not sure a doctor of what, but she's a doctor. So this book is set in a world where humans with powers are called the skilled, and humans without powers are just unskilled. So the skilled hold all high-ranking government political seats. They basically act as our Congress and such. There's a system set in place where all of the unskilled have to serve 10 years to the skilled, whether that be, you know, in one of the slave towns, you know, doing very hard labor, or in working in one of the estates, or there's something for them to do for 10 years. And after those 10 years, they if they're still alive, or you know, still young enough, then they continue on with their careers and the rest of their life, and they can travel. You cannot travel outside of Britain unless you have completed your 10 years. Unfortunately, once you do start your 10 years, you basically sign away all basic human rights. There's no unions, there's very little in the way of like equipment, safety, healthcare, things like that. You are in essence very much a slave. Okay, so we begin to follow a family of 5 who has decided to start their slave days together as a family. And the oldest daughter, Abby, she sets it up to where they all can serve out their days at an estate called Kynaston. I believe I'm saying that right. Unfortunately, for reasons, the middle child, the boy Luke, he gets denied. So while the rest of the family is being sent to Kynaston, Luke is being sent to Millmore. And Millmore is not a very nice place. So like I said, they have no say in anything. So Abby and the rest of her family, they are determined to find a way to get Luke transferred to Kynaston from Millmore. Luke quickly gets adjusted to life in Millmore. He works 6 days, Monday through Saturday, and then he usually has Sunday off. And it's very harsh, very harsh working conditions. And he finds himself kind of an honorary member of this club of sorts. But they aren't just sitting around like twiddling their thumbs and playing games. They do things around the city for people. They get medicines, they get things to help equipment work properly. They also do a little bit of treason on the side, you know, some pamphlets, some spray painting, things like that. Just to help try to make life in Millmore just better, try to make it just a little bit more survivable, you know. Luke's sense of justice, very shortly after joining the game, has firmly placed him inside the club. He agrees with the message they're trying to get out, and things suddenly, things very quickly escalate, and his group, along with several others in the other slave towns, are very determined to find a way to end the slave days. Meanwhile, back at Kynaston, Abby is realizing that things aren't necessarily as easy as she thought they would be. The majority of the skilled are very cold and harsh and unfeeling, and she very quickly realizes how very little she actually matters in the grand scheme of things. Like, once you start your slave days, that's it. It don't matter. I mean, pretty much even murder is allowed. I mean, they just don't care. The skilled are very ruthless. Important talks start to begin concerning the end of the slave days, and you know, plots are, you know, springing up, secrets are being held and let out, and Abby and Luke just find themselves thrust into like a whole bunch of danger, you know. Like they really realize how powerful the skilled really are, because you aren't told very much out in the, you know, when you're not doing your slave days, you aren't really taught very much. False friendships and distrust and just plots just circle the two, and they are just really unsure who to trust. During the final talks, a murder happens that sends people scattering and plots thickening, and a family who only just reunited are torn apart. And that just, I don't want to say too much because like it's really interesting, and it was just really fun leading up to that. And so just read the book. It was really good. So like I said, I really enjoyed the book. The characters had some hefty depth to them. I found myself second and third guessing true motives. There are some very morally gray characters in this book, and you're like, you kind of expect them to go one way, and then when they go the other way, you're like, what just happened? And like some unexpected friendships and allegiances kind of spring up, and it's just really interesting. So there was insta-love. It was set up to kind of be slow burning, but it just did not come out that way. I mean, one second they had like, you know, giddy feelings, you know, and then the next they're just like all over each other. So that just kind of got me off. And I just really felt that it should have moved slower. So the plot was really good, like I said. The world building was really interesting. Like I said, it's set in pretty much Britain. I did end up rating this book 3.5. It would have been 4 stars except for the insta-love. Alright, that is it for my spoiler-free review of Gilded Cage by Vic James. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Maybe consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. My Twitter and Goodreads accounts will be linked down below in case you want to follow me on any other social media. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.